Item 11, Citizens Forum. This is your chance to address the council. You have 3 minutes. You can address the council on any topic that is not on this agenda. Anyone wishing to address the council under Citizens Forum, please come on up to the podium. We do. Yes, ma'am. And if you are interested in speaking on Citizens Forum, please form a line behind the podium. And again, items on the agenda are not appropriate for Citizens Forum. Yes, ma'am, your name.
Hi, my name is Stacy Emerson. I'm a resident and business owner in the Midland community, which abuts us here. I want to thank you all definitely for supporting the Neighborhood Patrol Deputy Program and getting us the funding that we needed to continue with that program. I want to say that we still, as citizens, are concerned about the proposed changes of the NPD program. We've been told by a variety of different sources, whether it be agency sources or news media, about some conflicting numbers. An article published in the Tacoma News Tribune Wednesday, November 23rd, written by Aaron Corvin, stating that basically that the budget will allow for the Pierce County Sheriff's Department to add 5 deputies, 5 neighborhood patrol deputies, for a total of 11. We've been under the impression that we've had 7 since this program began. If you add 5 to the 7, there's 12. So the numbers are incorrect, which could have just been an oversight. However, the article further goes on to let us know that 1 NPD officer will be assigned to the unincorporated areas west of the Tacoma Narrows Bridge, I would assume the Gig Harbor area. 1 will be assigned to the Lake Tapps, Carbonado, and Buckley areas. That's 1 officer for those 3 areas. 3 will be assigned to the South Hill, Parkland, and Spanaway areas. That accounts for 5. So we would like to know where the other 6 and or 7 are going to be assigned, what their duties will be, and specifically, we really hope that they are able to continue to perform the same level of proactive police work that they've been doing, which has proven very successful in our community. We don't want to see any of these deputies, our existing and or added deputies, converted to desk jobs. We also want to offer ourselves, those who have already cleared the protocol and background check for volunteering for the Sheriff's Department. We would like to extend ourselves. We're underutilized as it is. We are not requested often enough. We would like to offer ourselves to work directly with the NPD and to help support them in what they're doing. And I hope also the fact that Midland specifically was not mentioned in this article, that it was just due to space limitations, and that Midland will continue to see the same amount, if not more, support from law enforcement through the NPD program. Thank you.
Ms. Emerson, thank you. And once we close public comment, I think you'll get a response to your questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Calvin.
Thank you. I will close Citizens Forum. I just want to briefly go through some of the issues that were mentioned. Before I do that, I want to compliment and thank Mr. Hugh Taylor from our staff, who I failed to mention earlier. Ms. Emerson, I'm not sure if she's still here or not. I have to give you and your neighbors a compliment. In my years on the county council, which is 5, I have never received so many phone calls, emails, letters, and petitions than I have on the neighborhood patrol deputy. I think in my office alone, it was over 100. And so let me go through some numbers, and if you got a pen handy, write this down. And I want to say that every one of the county council members were absolutely committed to preserving and actually improving the neighborhood patrol deputy program. Because as you're right, the proposed 2006 budget that came to us made some radical changes to the neighborhood patrol deputy program that you had become accustomed to. They were taking basically the 6 deputies that were assigned to what's referred to as Central Patrol, 7, Parkland, Spanaway, Midland, South Hill, Frederickson, Urban, Graham, going down to 6, and then taking 3 of them and moving them out to those detachments, 1 to Peninsula, 1 to Foothills, and 1 to Mountain. So the net result would have been only 3 in Central Patrol. So that's how we got to 6. The council actually added, as part of its budget review 2 weeks ago, 5 more for a total of 11. So when it's all said and done, this is how they will be assigned with the 11. 1 to the Mountain Detachment, 2 to the Foothills Detachment, 2 to the Peninsula Detachment, and 6 to Central Patrol. The council took the extra step of insisting that this program be a permanent program. It used to be a temporary, we have some extra bodies, so we'll throw them into this. The council mandated, as part of its budget, that this be a permanent, ongoing program. Secondly, the council actually took the unusual step of adopting a map that showed where those 6 deputies will be assigned to Central Patrol. So they wouldn't all be in South Hill, or they wouldn't all be in Midland. They would be spread out in 6 different geographic areas. And if you want to call your Councilmember Gelman's office tomorrow, well, I'm sure she can get you a copy of that. We call it a proviso. It said, here's the 11 and here's where they will be sent, as well as the map. So the council was extremely specific and precise with the sheriff to make sure that good program not only continued, but grew by nearly 50%. Any other comments by members of the council? Mr. Bush.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Not only that, the council went even further and added additional funding for what would be advanced hiring, per se, for additional deputies, because as deputies are picked up or transfer or moved to other jurisdictions or other departments, or are sent overseas as they're in the reserves or the guard, then manpower is reduced. And what we have done is basically authorized and approved funding in advance to hire people quicker, because it takes months to get our fine deputies trained and up to speed and in the neighborhoods doing the job that they want to do and we want them to do too. And so we're actually front-loading the funding for additional deputies and an ongoing basis to make sure that we have several in the pipeline for those transfers out or reassignments because of guard or military active duty or something of the kind. So that, in addition to the other things that I'm sure you've read in the media about additional judges and corrections officers to open new pods, keep more of the people off of 72nd in the jail and other places they come from. And so this body, I am very pleased to work with. They are very serious about making our neighborhoods and our communities a lot safer, and we're going to put the resources, I think we've demonstrated this year, by just creative and careful management of the budget process to drive more dollars into the officers getting out into our streets and being there to assist the community and to make our communities safer. So I would encourage you to continue if you have questions about it. I think part of what we've heard tonight too shows the fallacy of just depending on the print media for our facts, because there also was another article I believe yesterday that had a lot of facts in error as well. And so I know that I, for one, and I'm sure every member of the council would encourage you. That's why we put our telephone numbers and our email addresses out all the time. As you have these kinds of questions, contact us. If we don't have the answers, we'll put you in contact with the people who do have those answers so you can get the facts and that you'll know what the facts are. So that is our commitment, as I know we've discussed those kinds of things. So I think that the community is better served by these additional officers. I know that when they have more backup, and also when that unforeseen incident happens, you have more troops moving to the scene to take care of it, and it's safer for everybody as well. So I just wanted to add that to what the chair had mentioned earlier.
Well said. Any other comments by members? Mr. Lee.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And just to add on to that, all these additional deputies were put into place within existing revenues. And so by taking the way that Pierce County had spent money in the past, massaging that, we were able to generate enough revenue to add additional deputies in the different areas that Councilmember Goings had mentioned.
Well put. Ms. Gelman.
I just want to add my 2 cents too to the fact that we heard the emails, we listened to what your concerns were, and this council has responded, and I want to reiterate that.
Any final comments? Mr. Meary.
First of all, Cal, you run a good meeting. Thank you. And you're right. I'm already looking on some reprogramming of some legislation to program more money into public safety next year. But there is going to be squeaking when the other programs lose their money. So we have a limited amount of revenue coming in, and so, but we're going to try to. Our emphasis will be in public safety and for deputies.
And my compliments to Mr. Murray, who heads up our Performance Audit Committee, and it was because of his work we were able to find some of those savings by reducing some of the bureaucracy and non-essential programs. Anything else? Thank you all. We are adjourned.